In a new relationship, you can feel every cliche hit you at once. The butterflies, the fireworks, that at home feeling. And as that relationship molds into a more serious state, you think of every other cliche you've ever heard. Communication is key. Communication in a relationship is what makes it healthy. But if you think of communication as a planet like ours with atmospheres and ozones and deserts and ice caps, there are healthy climates and unhealthy ones. It can be hard to figure out which is which, so you can imagine why we might want to stay heated, melting the one thing holding us together, keeping us safe. You can imagine why we might feel the need to use the air as a buffer, polluting it with the words we say and those left unsaid in the tone of our sentences. You can imagine why we might feel hopeless. Because if this is the only climate that you've ever known, you might not see a problem when you come home to your partner and they say, "Where have you been?" As if you're still in the third grade and you need to ask permission to open a window or go to the bathroom or out for lunch. You don't know that they should see you and smile and say, "Where have you been?" Because they genuinely want to know, and they don't care who you were with or why you went out. They just want to know if you had a good time. The ozone protecting the climate of how we are with each other is sensitive to sound. So when he asks me, "Why are you so upset?" in a voice that raises the hair on the back of my neck, I know I am in the danger zone. He's tricky like that. He disguises disconfirming messages as confirmation in any other situation I might think he actually wants to know. But taking background information and adding my gut-wrenching anxiety, in that moment he doesn't give a damn. To him, I am overreacting, and I know he's only asking so that he can turn it around and show me that it's my fault because I'm too sensitive. He asked me if I remember that one time when I misunderstood a stranger on the street and cowered in fear as they drew closer to me, only to realize that they hadn't even noticed me. Because even though it's completely irrelevant in this conversation, he still thinks that it proves his point somehow, and it makes me feel dumb. He says that I need to grow up, that I'm making something out of nothing, that I need to develop a thicker skin. But not 5 minutes later, he turns around and says to me that I am too stubborn, too strong-willed. And you know, sometimes you can be a little intimidating. It's like he doesn't know what he wants me to be, but I shouldn't be this, so I become nothing. When I ask why he's upset, I actually want to know. At first, because I care about him and I want to help. But now it's so that I can apologize for whatever I did wrong this time, and every single time he tells me, "You already know." I spend 2 weeks trying to decode his actions. I run through the day I spend 2 weeks trying to decode his actions. I run through the day. I spend the next 2 weeks trying to decode his actions, running through the day in my mind as a series of zeros and ones, trying to find my error before I do it again, even though it doesn't exist after a year of this. My defense mechanisms have defense mechanisms. I spent days trying to figure out how to make him see that I've done nothing wrong, except maybe I have. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe if I hadn't done this or said that, he wouldn't be shutting me out. He wouldn't be ignoring me every time I try to talk to him. I try making him feel needed by playing helpless and asking him to explain everything to me because I don't understand, but that doesn't work. So I try to find something that made him happy in the past, an attempt to recreate that joy he once had. But now it's become an annoyance, so I start to think, well, I guess this is just how it is with long-term things. So I do nothing. My friends tell me he shouldn't be talking to you like that, but I can't see why. I know he loves me. I know they don't understand him. And when they cry out abuse, I rationalize his harsh attitude. My friends tell me he shouldn't be talking to you like that, but I can't see why. I know that he loves me. I know that they just don't understand him. And when they cry out abuse, I rationalize his harsh attitudes by saying, but he would never hit me. This is just who he is. Little do I know that when he disregards my feelings when we argue, it has the same effects as a punch. That when he laughs in my face or treats me like I don't deserve to be heard, he may as well be bruising my ribs with a kick, because at least those bruises heal, and I would be able to admit that he was wrong. But when he makes me feel like I shouldn't be feeling, I will carry that with me forever. Those bruises never heal. Those bruises paint black and blue on every relationship I will have after him. They sting not from touch, but from the thought that I will have to defend my own mind against anyone I come in contact with. For the rest of my life, they swell, not on skin, but in my chest when someone I love asks me, "What's wrong?" My heart is pounding against the walls around it because all I hear is malice, and I'm trying to find an answer that won't be turned into my own wrongdoings. Every climate in my world is hot and heavy and melting. It's what I've become used to. Because when you're knee-deep in someone else's negativity, you get stuck into the spiral with them, and it seems impossible to claw your way out. So everyone is against me, and I have to defend myself. But the thing is, on the planet of communication, climate change is welcome. We can take storms and turn them into streams that flow through our interactions, smooth, comfortable, ruthless. We can take the gloom of negativity and turn it into something meaningful, and we might need a little bit of help, but all we have to do is clear the air enough to see the other side.